Alright, we're live. Today's soundtrack is going to be Chrono Trigger. And we're going to jump straight into doing things. So, last time I stalled out pretty badly fighting with how I wanted to make the tournament's UI propagation work. Have it be scalable and stuff. And I deliberated and it was never good. And I think I figured out, literally in my car as I drove to the gym that night, a better way to do this. So what we're doing is adding back in the blanks. So the 4 blanks back in there. Hey, Rugops, welcome to the stream. And then we're going to just keep these invisible, which will work. Should be here, right? Oops, I made it tiny. Yeah, okay. So these are setting out our different positions. Will I be streaming the rest of Dino Crisis? No, I have no plans to stream Dino Crisis. I'm going to just record it myself when I have time to squeeze in an episode here and there. So not going to be a stream game at all. Hey, real Mr. Siraj, welcome to the stream. Hey, Cryo. Playing GW3 right now, continuing the Biosyn Jurassic World Challenge sandbox. Right on. Okay, so we need to duplicate every one of these. So one of these. One of these. We should have a different way of doing this too, because this is not scalable, but this is fine as a first draft, essentially. Inspired watching the video, not the same, but looks great. That's good. Yeah, there should be a lot more you can do with like enclosure design because you're doing it in 3, right? And like the attractions and stuff to make the park work. Then here, yeah, so this should just be this. That repeated 4 times, so now we're populating the grid more. Should put Barry and Suko together. You don't know if Suko was in Biosyn. Why did I put Baryonyx if he wasn't in Biosyn 2? Baryonyx, if I remember correctly, it's been a little while since I remember the exact logic for the species list. But doesn't Dodgson get Baryonyx DNA in Camp Cretaceous? Right? Because he's collecting the DNA from the animals they've captured and they got one of the named Baryonyxes. So I think that was the logic. You could assume the Baryonyx was one of the animals they had access to. Do I watch other people's JWE challenge mode runs? No. I don't think I've ever watched a single other JWE gameplay video other than like pre-release stuff. Like when YouTubers got to play the game early, release footage early, then I watched that. But generally, I don't check out anybody's stuff. I watch some news videos, and that's about it. And even then, those are usually second monitor, skip through them type things. Okay, so this is correct. This is propagating all these markers. And then we have the markers themselves set up, right? To determine if they show or not. So that works. It might be the best park I did in JW2. The Biosyn Jurassic World one? Yeah, it was a good one. It was definitely up there. If not the best, definitely one of the best. Player Ceratosaurus. No Ceratosaurus in the game yet. We have the player is the Carnotaurus. That's all it's going to be until we're developing a proper, like, alpha beta. Alpha or beta, depending on how things turn out with development, right? So, we need to deal with the victory situation. So, yeah, this stuff. Why did I put Plezzy as the marine reptile in the Bios and Jurassic World Challenge? I think my only logic there would have been that it was a aquatic that wasn't mosasaur that is semi-canon. I think was the logic. I don't explicitly remember. There might have been something about it being cut from... No, it was cut from Dominion, right? That was it. Plesiosaurus was cut from Dominion early in production or whatever. So I included it because it was the only aquatic that had any tenuous connection to Biosyn. And I wanted an aquatic to have a lagoon just like in regular Jurassic World. Because the Plessy design we actually got in GW2 was the scrap design from Dominion. That's why it's such a weird design, because it's a film design. Or at least a rough draft of a film design. So, these other pairings are assigned these indexes. Watched a custom challenge run on Evo 2 from YouTuber called Fish Stick on a Stick that really changed your perspective on challenge mode. I think I've seen that channel. That name is vaguely familiar, but I don't know anything about it. Core concept was just a no dinosaur park? Okay. Like, no dinosaur in the sense of, like, pterosaurs and aquatics and that kind of shit, or what? Or are we talking attractions? Yeah, the snakiness of the Plezzy, that was leaked, like, way before JW2 came out as a Dominion design. Really does highlight the differences on the game in Evo 3. Yeah, there's differences. I can tell you that much for sure. I need to do some more modding. I need to get back into the GW2 files actually and see if they had plugins in the Lewis scripts for altering the effects of the lawyer penalties to see if those work in 3. Because I really, really, really want to adjust the lawyer penalty, I guess you'd say. The level of lawyer penalty in GW3. Nothing that was an actual dinosaur. Got it. That's kind of what I figured you meant, but... Okay, so let's just rewrite all of this. Right. Yeah, so this is the part that I got, like, really stuck on, trying to think of how to concisely make this, like, work. To propagate these array entries. So we got entrant. That's being passed? No, entrant index. Wait, this is entrant here. Are these... Is this not how I want to do this? Character 1, character 2. We set the entrant value for the other person. Yeah, no, this should be, because our entrant value is always the same. It doesn't matter. Well, Moral sent down Microstratus in GW3. I don't even know. He said he preferred most of the differences. Preferred most of the differences going from 2 to 3 for custom challenge mode, is what you're saying? That seems crazy. Because I don't really see any changes in 3 that help with custom challenge mode. Breeding could have been interesting if it was implemented differently, but as it is, it's like in my mind, it's a lackluster mechanic. The fact that you can't selectively breed animals for like more interesting generations just removes any interesting gameplay from it, I think. Banner, X, Lurk, Spike, and Morrison. I don't know what you mean by that, Philip. Okay, let's look at this section first. So yeah, why did I do this way? What was I on when I wrote this? This doesn't make... Global.tournament array entrant. So this would be... Okay, so let's do... Okay, I see what I was doing here, sort of. But, yeah, this is... not... great. So these are going to be 1, 2, and 3, because we are 0. Tournament slot for enemy, we are 0. Because now we are putting in the blanks. I have Discord. I mean, what do you mean I have Discord? You're literally on the Discord. What do you mean? I also mentioned dig sites being rebalanced as the positive edition. Are they? It's so hard to tell if anything is balanced in 3 because the economy isn't. Like... What, you left the Discord? And you don't know how to get back in? Is that what you're saying, Cryo? Okay, so entrant is index 1, 2, and 3. So if you win, then yeah, you're marking this for the check mark there. That's correct. This doesn't change. That just has to update the entrant index, and that's fine. But then here, 3 plus 3 times entrant. So if you lose, the winner is the other one. So if the Baryonyx wins, this is 6. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this should be back 1. Let me draw myself a picture and make sure I get these indexes correct. There's probably other better ways to do this. Well, you can find a link to the Discord on... It should be on any of the videos on the main channel. There's probably a Discord link on Twitch as well. Looking for a good sheet of scratch paper. Here we go. Okay, so let me draw my tournament grid. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. So, never returns 0, returns 1, 2, or 3. Yes. And then 3 plus 3. So this should be, we're looking for the first column in the first row. So this is always the row, this is always the column. So we're looking for 4, 8, and 12. Four, 8, and 12 from index 1, 2, and 3, which is just 4 times the value. Yeah, so now we don't need this thing here because we don't have we have the blanks included instead of removing the blanks. So this is much simpler. This is why this is better. Yeah, I'm not saying that the dig sites wouldn't be more balanced in 3 than 2. They're definitely unbalanced in 2. Or the animals in general, like between research dig sites, cost, return, etc. I don't know if they're more balanced than 3 because it's so hard to evaluate because there's no inherent difficulty anyway. Yeah, it's all, to me, the balance has never been good in either game. It's just worse in 3. That's kind of where I stand at it. Okay, and then if it's a tie, these markers are never changed. And then we go to, so we gotta rewrite this. So we are simulating an outcome between 2 other participants. So what we need to do is we need to adjust these indexes. These are all +1 now. 2 and 3, 1 and 3, and a 1 and a 2. Okay, then we pick the random outcome. So we've got 0 and 1. Yeah, so this is just going to be confusing to try to look at. Let's just redo this completely. We're just going to straight up delete this, because this is just bad. Okay. We'll start completely from scratch. So if we have the Baryonyx win, then we have a tournament showdown between the Stegosaurus and the Iguanodon on 2 and 3. So it's 2 and 3. So this would be 2 versus 3, 2 versus 3. So indexes 11 and 14. 2 fights 3. 3 fights 2. 1 gets a thing, 1 gets a thing. Yeah, like JWE3, there's no sense of progression. I think that's the problem, right? The fact that you can essentially have any animal as your second animal, that to me doesn't feel right. But in 2, yeah, you've got like these strict research requirements for star rating. And so even if something is unbalanced, yeah, you get it later in the game, you don't immediately grab it. Which is why I want to reintroduce star rating requirements for the animals when I make the difficulty mod. I don't know how I'm going to approach it exactly, but I think just everything available is kind of kooky. Same with how many things unlock per research node, I think it's just too many. I don't know. So, this would be... just for the sake of thinking about this. This would be the victor. This would be the loser. So the victor is the one we need to turn into a 1. Loser is the one we need to mark with a 0. So if 2 wins, it's index 11. 2 to 11. And if 3 wins, it's 14. Okay. So how do we mark that exactly? Should just be 4 times the first thing plus the second thing, right? Does that make sense? So if it's a 2 for the baryonyx that has 1, it becomes 8, plus 3 for the loser to 11. And if it's the stegosaurus that wins, it becomes 4 times 3 for 12, plus the loser value of 2 for 14. No, that's correct. Okay. So this becomes global tournament array. I guess we'll just keep that as RDEX. I don't remember what the fuck that even meant, but whatever. RDEX is 4 times other pairing 0. Plus the other pairing 1. Just do it like this. And then that becomes 1. This is the winner of that match. And then the loser is whatever the opposite one was. So let's just set these up as separate lines. 2 equals 2. Loser. So this is just inverted, right? We just switch the 0 and 1 indexes. That should be it. Because it's the same as if they had 1, except they get the opposite value. So if you switch their places, yeah, I don't even need to check that. That's clearly what it is. Okay. Yeah, anything... I mean, the Majungasaurus Utaranus comparison is not exactly that simple because Majung cohabs, which gives it a niche. Like, Majung should objectively be worse than Utaranus, right? Because you can consolidate park space. But, on the other hand, because of how breeding works, breeding is like the most powerful thing you can do in a park, and you can't breed cohabbing carnivores because they eat each other's kids. Which means that cohabbing as a balance mechanic is kind of nothing. So Mahjong does still lose. But on paper, you know, theoretically speaking, breeding it is a benefit. So this should be done. This should be everything we have to do here. Let's test it all. Let's see if it works. So, we're just going to go right into this shit and lose to the Baryonyx, because we always lose to the Baryonyx. Charging in, might as well go for the Paralytic Bite. We'll just spam shit, you know? It's fine. I'm gonna... I mean... Okay, there's that. I was waiting for it. Oh, yeah, now we're hosed. And we lose. Okay, we got a crash. Unknown object Ardex 2, not set. Oh, did I not change the... when I copy pasted? Yes. I did not add the 2 to this. I just overwrote it. Simple. Why was the stream yesterday canceled? There was supposed... yeah, so there was supposed to be a stream, but we ran into tech issues getting RimWorld working with our new mod pack. So we ended up not actually streaming. We just kept trying to get the issues sorted out all night. So we'll probably stream co-op games next Wednesday. Probably, like, we'll be testing RimWorld again, but it should be working this time. So we can probably get it going. Battle Cat's victory music? Are you talking about the music in the game or what we're listening to? Because neither of those are Battle Cats. Oh, we're cooked. We're fucked. It's over for us. Oh my god, we're destroyed. Negative 6% HP. I got completely swept. Okay, it worked. So we lost. Lurk won. Simulated battle. Spike beat Morrison. Now the red X's do look a little weird in their placement. So we might want to adjust that. Let's fight the Iguanodon. Now, the trick with the Iguanodon is to stockpile stamina. Okay, then go off. That way you can front load damage a bit. Or miss all your attacks, and then you're just fucked anyway. Okay, we got a little bit of a lead. Get away from me. Oh god, he's spamming. He's desperate. Now we're gonna lose. You managed to get ahead there on us. Yeah, we lost 59.46% to 80%. Damn. You coming back in 30 minutes? Alright. Well, we're 0 for 2. So's the Stego, though. So if we beat the Stego, we get 3rd place. The fact that the notes have been changed in challenge mode makes this arguably more unbalanced. Okay, good Devour. Stego definitely needs a lot more help. His moveset is not doing it. Alright, stall him out. Stall the clock. We're good. We're good. Just get away from him. Back off, back off, back off. Alright, we win 88 to 53. The fact that the node doesn't even change in challenge makes this arguably more unbalanced. Oh, yeah, okay. You mean, like between challenge modes? Yeah, the challenge modes are just identical rosters, essentially. I mean, they're not the identical rosters, but they're identical research trees, right? They're just pruned. Whereas in JW2, we had custom research trees in every challenge mode, or at least the core ones, or whatever. Alright, well, Lurk wins the tournament with a full sweep. We get 3rd place, beating only Morrison the Stegosaurus, who got completely bodied. Cool. Alright, so we need to readjust slightly the spacings here. These are a little bleh. So, those are propagated under the lobby layout. The Y spacing looked good. Pretty good. So maybe we just go like -3. Wait. 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. Just want to make these changes while I still have the... Oh, wait, it's not... Oh, because if I minimize it... Oh, cool. You can actually see my other screen if I minimize the game window. I didn't realize that. I can keep it open. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of changed X indices. Spacing is essentially fine. I think the spacing's good. They just need to be shifted to the side a little bit. And then I want to adjust the buttons on the victory screen. So we're going to move these to like 655 maybe. Maybe 50. Maybe not even 55. Pretty much no reason not to pick the best in-slot animal for any given node. Yeah. Yeah. If an animal's available in a challenge mode and it's better, you should just always use it. Slime Rancher 2 and both previous Monster Hunter Stories games. You're eating good. I'm also eating good because Slay the Spire 2 just came out today. So that was what I spent my day recording before the stream. I was doing my first Slay the Spire 2 run, and it was a victory, which is great. Alright, let's get another victory or loss in here so we can check the spacing of the text. I'm not going to do the full tournament, I just want to do one round. Just to see where the buttons lie. Dude, that bleed never not lands. It probably needs to be nerfed. The Shook is probably too good of a move. But we'll see. Okay. That's still too far? $645. Just land a hit, man. You can do it. Just get one hit in there. Come on, dude. Oh my god. Pathetic. Alright, yeah, I mean, that's okay. The text is all on the button at least. This could be moved a little bit more over still, I think. All right. We'll move this slightly further, call that good. And then the spacing of the markers. We'll drop it by another 3 pixels. Wait, I dropped it by 13. Oops. 687. 764 841 918. Okay. I'm not going to adjust this any further. That's centered enough. I don't care. So. What should we do next? We could start working on the quill system. I didn't really plan anything beyond this. But I know everything else we need to do. Okay, let's look at this. We have a move we haven't fully implemented. Actually, I think we have 2 moves we haven't fully implemented. So jaw lock, I believe, is not implemented. Yeah, unimplemented. Crit bleed, no move. Okay. So, we're going to copy the effects for these two moves, Rake and Jaw Lock. We're going to implement both of these. We're going to finish what we have to do before we add new stuff. These are the last two things that are unimplemented in the game currently. And then we need to add Quill mechanic for the Iguanodon, and we needed to add a RNG mechanic for the Stegosaurus, which is going to be Thagomizer scaling randomly between 1 and 4, depending on how many spikes hit, is the idea. So, yeah, let's just focus on what we got to do here. So we go to the combat script, script 1. And then we go to, let's look at our status implementation code. Because I think we can probably just hijack this. Did we status, do status, effect scale duration? Yeah, okay. Yeah, did we status equals do status. So, let's trace back this did we status. Is playing as the other 4 animals planned for the vertical slice or just Carnotaurus? Just Carnotaurus. Because if here's the problem. Here's why we can't just simply implement the other animals. If we look at the genetic information, this is everything that goes into generating the player's Carnotaurus. All of these lines, because it generates an entire internal genome for both parents, and then randomizes the outcome for the child genome, which is what you play with. And then it's got a whole expanded move set and learn set above and beyond the AI characters, because it's replayable, right? The demo itself is replayable. The Carnotaurus levels up differently every time. This generates, like, I don't know, probably like over 1,000 different Carnotauruses, potentially. And so doing this for every animal would be a lot. The big thing just that we don't have enough passives and attacks without making every animal the same to, like, do this. So it makes more sense, I think, to fully implement the Carnotaurus, since it's the player character, and then only implement the other animals as the AI, with the limited fixed move sets and passive sets that they get. But, I mean, those animals will be probably the first ones to be expanded anyway in the future. But yeah. Okay, so we got these 3 different did we statuses. These are inside. So these are set to 0. Okay, let's go through this. Let's understand what we were doing here. Did we status 0, 2, and 3? These should be labeled because these are, what are these right now? This is, yeah. So these come from here. We do status, and then the did we status is returned. Counter to you. Yeah, so this is a counterattack status. Where's my... Let's fix a note. So 3... is a counterattack. 2... attack effect logic, attacker, and damage value. This is probably the standard one. And then this is a chance. So did we status is chance. But why did we implement did we status 2 as fixed? There's a big crane fly in your room. It seemingly can't fly, but hasn't been dying either. I mean, you could help him along on his journey. How do we implement these chance rolls? Okay, it's just a status on the a thing on the moves. No move status effect unimplemented. Attack effect logic. This all needs to be rewritten, by the way. I think I say that every stream, but this is a nightmare. This has definitely grown out of control as it's been added to, but I think there's some value in having it done before fixing it. That way we can see kind of everything that needs to be done here to clean this up. Well, you can always capture it and release if you don't want to murder it. If you don't want to be a murderer. Attack effect logic is attack effect logic from the P list, which comes out of parsed passives. Oh, this is coming out of specifically here. So this is passives. Yeah. Okay, so let's make those notes. In the first place these come up, which is back up here still? Where the fuck do we start these? Here. So did we status? This is a 0 or 1 logic check on if we applied a status effect through a move, or through moves normal outcome effect, fuck it. Normal game effect. Did we status 2? Same as above, but did we trigger a status effect from a passive modifying an attack? This is also the same, but is for a counterattack. And then we're going to add did we status number 4, which is a crit status. Did we status 4 equals 0. Well, this one is for applying a status effect that triggers only on crit. Okay. Okay, so we have this did we crit flag. So let's see. Let's write that down. Did we crit? So if did we crit, and if the effect So, wait a second. Attack effect logic. Crits. Aggression checks. Monster is a mobile game. Way better mobile game than any right to be. Yeah, I mean, mobile games are only almost universally bad. They, some of them are still playable. Damage check, did we drain? Def attack effect logic. Effect skill duration. Attacker and damage value. So the effect... Okay, yeah, so this would still happen. So actually this is handled already internally. We don't need this. This here. Which, this causes a problem, because we need to pass the crit flag through. Okay, so we just got to do that. So did the crit flag did we crit? Okay. So we're looking for every instance of do status. We're passing that the crit flag. So do status, damage val, comma, crit flag. That one's commented out. Alright, so here. Damage val, did we crit? Did we crit? Did we crit? One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. Okay, that's every instance. So now we go here. Okay. Now, we got to think about how we implement this. If effect is not none, evaluate the effect type. Imagine Pokemon Go, but instead you go out to catch and level Pokemon, you hunt monsters to get the materials you made for stronger gears. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I played Jurassic World Alive and a little bit of Pokemon Go, so I can see where else you can take that formula. That's kind of... I had a game that had a similar concept to that for mobile that I never developed, but I can definitely see some potential in that. Mine wasn't necessarily just simply hunting monsters. It was more challenging dungeons, but similar in concept. I'll probably never make that game, so I don't really care. If effect is bleed... If effect is bleed or effect is bleed, an attacker is enemy. Bleed returns. Okay, so I think the way to do this might be to intervene early. So we do if effect can I slice a string in GameMaker? Does that work? No. That would just be math, so that's not anything. Let's look this up. String split, this is by delimiter though. I don't want to split by delimiter, I want to split by index. Extended string split functions, strings. Let's just read the strings section. Manipulating strings. Copy, delete, digits, format, insert, lower, repeat, replace, upper, trim. Let's look at trim. Turns a new string with all the leading and trailing white space. No. Maybe string split extended? Remove empty max splits. No, that's not going to do it either. Concat? Nope. Fuck, how do I do this? String digits? Parse a given string, get any numbers from it. Oh, that's interesting, but that ain't helpful. String format? Converts a real number into a string. Nope. Position of a substring within a string. How would the dungeons have worked? The idea was that players would be, you would both be creating dungeons and having your like hero character that's your like player avatar. And so you would go out and attempt to like raid other people's dungeons that they've made that are full of traps. And so there'd be rewards for you successfully raiding another player's dungeon, or rewards for another player failing to raid your dungeon. And then there would be also like PvE dungeons that you could raid with your character. That was kind of the core idea. So you'd be going to like kind of some place in the world where the dungeon is like physically located and you know, in the real world to enter it basically. Then you'd play through some, I don't know the length, like I don't know, a lot of the finer details were never worked out, but the dungeon would have some sort of interface that you would progress through to beat it. And you could like team up to conquer dungeons together, be they PvE or PvP, depending on how the PvP stuff worked out. This function will return the character position of an instance of a substring within a string, searching from the beginning of the string. The function will return 0 if it's not found at all, or the position of the first character. Will return 0 if it's not found at all, or the position of the first character if the substring is found. Keep in mind that for legacy supported strings are indexed from 1, so 1 is the first position of the string, not 0. This is implemented very weirdly. Yeah, a lot of the finer, like, actual mechanics of the game were never ironed out. Like, how the combat system worked, none of that was exactly planned. Just the idea that you would, like, be designing the layout of a dungeon, like, hiding traps in it, stocking it with, like, enemies, and some sort of, like, final boss, stuff like that. All very loose concept stuff. I don't know if this function's what I want to use. Wait, string starts with. Ooh, this does it. This will actually do it exactly. Okay, hold on. Yeah. So we do this. String starts with, and we take the effect, and the substring is specifically crit. So we do crit check 1 equals this. Why is this flag blue? Inconsistent naming, who cares? And then crit check 2. And this is to user proof the capitalization. Okay. And then we do this. If crit check 1 and crit flag. We replace the effect. The effect equals effect dot split. No, sorry, string split. Does that work? With like a 0 index? If I split a string in GameMaker by the value the string starts with, does that return 1 or 2 things in the list? That's the question we need to answer here. String split. Function separates a string into separate strings using a given delimiter. Delimiter string is the boundary. Either a single string or a string of characters causes a string to split. For example, the string is this is the string can be split using character space blah. This is the string with the original being split. Delimiter itself is never included in the resulting strings. Yes. Okay, I think we just put in remove empty equals true. Hold on. Is this... Does this work? Or do I need to extend it? String delimiter, remove empty. Yes. Okay. So this should return just what's left in the string, and then we take the 0th index, and that's fine. So that replaces the effect. So this has now gone from crit bleed to bleed only if we crit and it matches the condition. So now we need to duplicate this again here. If crit check 2. And now we split at lowercase crit. And then either way, this is either bleed or bleed with a lowercase b. And this is already handled here. So that should just be it. That should work. Done. Now, we don't have the capability... Yeah, so what if we didn't crit? This is not done. Because if we didn't crit, this doesn't work. Does it matter? Hold on. Let's look at this again. If effect is not none, this will happen. Stat trigger buff. Parse the passives. If split F0 is buff. If effect is life drain. This might be fine. Let's test it as is. I'm curious just to know if this works. So, the attack we were doing this for was called Rake. So we're going to give the Carnotaurus Rake as a hard-coded attack so we can test this. Genetic info. Rake is a... am I blind? Range 1 attack. So Rake will replace... Devour, I guess. We also need to implement attack ranks, but that can be later. Player Ceratosaurus. I don't know what to say to that. We replaced Devour with Rake. Then we got to update the cooldowns. Rake. That should be everything we need to do. Let's test it. The player character is not going to change from Carnotaurus. It's just going to be Carnotaurus for now. Ceratosaurus will 100% be in the real game, but, like, it's not happening tonight. Okay, well, Rake just fucking missed, so we just lose. Maybe we can get another chance here if we don't die. We're gonna die. Okay, let's try it against the Iguanodon. We're looking to see if the game crashes when we land it, and it doesn't crit. I hit, did 8 damage, undefined. Okay. Because it didn't crit. But the game didn't crash. So an undefined error is fine. That just means the game couldn't parse the outcome text, and we don't care about that. We hit, we did 10 damage, undefined. Something else popped up there. I don't know what that was. I didn't see it in time. Oh my god, he killed me. I got shanked to death by an Iguanodon. This has never happened. 40% crit chance on this thing. Shouldn't be that hard to get one of these to trigger. We hit, you did 6 damage. Critical hit, 10 HP, bleed 2 set. It works. Cool. Cool. I'm not going to worry about the undefined text. That's fine. Is it fine? Should we fix it? We should probably fix it. Most of Monster Hunter Rathalos were the most iconic bisexuals in fiction. I question that it's one of the most iconic ones. Maybe one of the most iconic ones in gaming, but fiction is a big ask. Alright, so... I guess I should keep this if I was going to fix the undefined, but we can probably just figure this out. This is probably... it's the effect, right? So what's happening here is... let's look at our returns. Array push, array push. If effect is cleanse, return you are cleansed, return enemy is cleansed, return this, this, this. So these are all returns. So I probably just want to add a return at the end. String effect was resisted. Yeah, we just add a return blank, right? How many bisexuals can I name in fiction? Okay, okay. Are we gonna do this? Willow Rosenberg. That's one. How many Buffy the Vampire Slayer characters are bisexual? A few. I mean, does she count? Because she kind of just changed teams more so. I don't know. Dr. Frankenfurter from Rocky Horror Picture Show. Like 2/3 of all of RPG companions of like the last 20 years are bisexual. That's probably vastly over-exaggerated on my part. It's not nearly that many, but... who's bisexual in... You know, I can't even think of the last... Is every Fallout 4 companion you can have a relationship with bisexual? I think they might be? Bad news. What's the bad news? How many RPGs can you think of like that? I mean, there's yeah, I'm trying to debate in my head, but you set fire to your kitchen. You shouldn't do that. Don't set fire to your kitchen. That's bad. Fallout 4 definitely has the gays in it. Fallout 3 doesn't really have very meaningful companions. New Vegas doesn't have a romance. And I don't know if anybody's sexuality is confirmed in that game. I'm trying to think back to Dragon Age, how Dragon Age's romances worked, and I just can't remember. There's a shooting star coming right to your house. Well, don't let it land on you. Yeah, so if every other check here is passed, then we can just return a blank string. And that should take care of the undefined. You finished playing GWE 3. Yeah, Dragon Age definitely had a broad spectrum of sexuality. I just couldn't remember if there were explicitly bisexuals or not. Wasn't the last Dragon Age like 10 years ago? No, wasn't it like... When was... I haven't played one after 2. When was Dragon Age 4? No, Veilguard was 2024. It was 2 years ago. Do you know what D-Mega? What? I have no idea what you're talking about, Cryo. Veilguard was 2024. Dragon Age 3 was 2014. So there was like a 10-year gap between 3 and 4. Don't make Epstein great again. Correct. True. Yeah, I also kind of forgot Veilguard existed till we started talking about when the last one came out, and it's like, wasn't there one that just came out? Veilguard's a 6 out of 10 on Steam. That's pretty rough. How does 3 hold up? I've never... 3 has been... Oh, I own 3. I've just never actually played it. Mostly positive. Veilguard is straight up mixed. Oof. DA2 is actually very positive, which is kind of surprising to me. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Dragon Age kind of... Well, I mean, everybody feels like Dragon Age fell off, right? But I feel like Dragon Age fell off kind of immediately. Like, I really like Dragon Age 1 specifically. Could Bam be on my stream in secret? What do you mean? Like, lurking in the chat? Absolutely. Alright, so the next thing to do is the no move thing. What DLC do you guys think is next, Donut Lord? I don't know. It's hard to say. Is Bam older than me? No, we're like roughly the same age. I don't remember who's older. We had this discussion like a few times, and I just never remember what the answer is for who's older. But we're like the same year, so it doesn't really matter. You got assaulted by a MAGA supporter. Welcome to the future, I guess. You just gotta beat them back. That's all you can do. Just attack those fuckers. He literally showed up at the Olympics. Well, I mean, that is pretty substantial, sure. Wait, I thought of the most famous gaming bisexual of all. The Pokemon Ditto. You know I'm right. Ditto's even got their own game that just came out. I think the next DLC for JW3, though, it's got to be like a species pack. I don't know what it would be. I don't think it's going to be Chaos Theory. I don't think it's going to be a story DLC, really. So it's going to be like a random-ass species pack, and that's really unpredictable. Yeah, you gotta fight back, Cryo. You gotta take it to the streets. You feel like Ditto is pansexual. Yeah, but pansexual is bisexual. How is that different? Pansexual is just bisexual plus, right? Like, if you make a Venn diagram, doesn't bisexual fall... Like all pansexuals are inherently bisexual. The opposite's not true, right? But it works in one direction. Isn't that true? Actually, can you Ditto a Magneton? Does that work? Okay, yes, you can. Yeah. I couldn't remember if the non-breeding in Pokemon was specifically connected to gender or egg group. It's egg group, which is why you can't breed the legendaries. But things that don't have a gender but can breed, like Magneton, do work. Okay. First, Americans have guns. You don't second, you don't have one. Yeah, I mean, true. True. Not all Americans have guns, just most of them. Just like 80%. That's like a 1 in 5 to not get shot. You'll be fine. I mean, T-Rex so weak to the point where a little Gallimimus can probably beat it. I don't think so, because the Gallimimus can't even defend itself, right? Okay, so here's the problem with this. The no move thing is its own, like, special qualification. So, how do we want to implement this? Why is my country animal a bald eagle? Because it's American as fuck, yo. I don't know, man. Oh yeah, Geba could fuck some shit up, for sure. I guess maybe we just do it like this. Let's do it like this. I lost my place. Here. We do if effect. Yeah, let's do it like right here. Just implement it right at this level. We go if effect absolutely equals no move. We do global dot no move equals 1. And then we do global dot no move timer equals timer, please, equals duration. Yep. We do it like that. And then we need to do a return. I don't know why I'm copying a return. Both locked in place for seconds. Both locked in place for 9, in this case, seconds. We need to string this. String duration. Hold locked in place for 9 seconds. That should be enough information. Okay, so that's how we set it up. We need to initialize both of these, which we'll do on the lobby screen. So we go to lobby layout. Are we in WW3? I mean, we won't know until after the fact. Here's the thing, right? People never declared World War I and II as World War. Well, maybe World War II, I don't remember. But the point is, they became really known as those wars after the fact, right? Especially for World War I. It was like the Great War back then. And then it kind of took on the name World War I after the fact, mostly based on the context of World War II, right? So to say, are we already in World War III, requires hindsight that we don't have. So we could be in World War III. We won't know until people decide, you know, after the fact that historically it was that, right? This could be the early stages, who knows? Spino can kill any Rex and no one can stop me IRL. T-Rex, I'm gonna snap your neck. Yeah, the T-Rex shouldn't even have to snap the neck of the Spino. It should be able to just bite through it. Like, the T-Rex should just literally decapitate a Spino. Like, that should have happened in the movie. Yeah, I don't know why anybody listens to, like, any of the talking heads from the Trump administration. They're all, like, ridiculous people. It's just clowns everywhere. Okay, so we just initialize these here. Both as zeros, so that way the duration and the condition reset every time you go back to the lobby. Breaking news, guys, a Spino just ate Donald Trump. That would be pretty sick. Like, we'd have if we had a Spino back, and that's the first thing it did, that'd be amazing. That'd be cool. I'd be celebrating, hell yeah. Alright, and then we got to do the rules for movement. So we go to the AI. We should have somewhere in here. This might just be attack logic, not move logic. Yeah, I think the move logic might be the enemy marker. Yep. If PC attacking or global.en.stagger is greater than 0, speed 0, otherwise this. So this should be the same place. So we should just be able to implement another OR check. Global dots. No move. I could just implement this as the timer too, I suppose, but I think we'll just leave it alone. There could be some benefit to having this be a timer separate from the flag, right? Sure, fuck it, this is fine. If we want to recreate a Spino, we need croc DNA and maybe a shark. I don't know about that. What is a big sale in the animal kingdom? Does anything have a sale anymore? Like that? Like there's small like sailed animals, ridges and humps and stuff like that, but like I don't think there's anything. Maybe well, there's like some fish that kind of have sails that are somewhat fins that are somewhat analogous to like a Spinosaur sail. I don't know. Yeah, ultimately a Spino could probably kill a T-Rex with a bite to the neck before the T-Rex could. Definitely true. Probably true, let's say. I mean, it's possible that the teeth of the Spino might not be like it might not have enough bite force with it and enough like tooth depth to cause any permanent damage on a bite. I don't really know. I don't know what the bite force of a Spino is like. You know? But like my money would be on the Rex. Do I think an Irritator could kill a Carno? I mean, I think kind of anything could technically kill anything, right? Like you can die because you stepped on a squirrel and fell over and fucking cracked your head and died. So this is checked every step. This should be fine. And then when we are moving, which is handled by here. Key up sets these to 0. If this speed 0. So this should be the place to implement it. Or global en, oops, global dots, no move. Yes. So this works to always force this to not move. This should be true. We may wiggle a little bit. Why is he called Elvisosaurus? Who? Cryolophosaurus? If anybody calls it that, it's because of the crest, right? Because Elvis is known for having, you know, a pompadour haircut, kinda, right? I mean, I would put... I mean, a Gallimimus should have weight on, like, over a smaller raptor. Like... I can see a galley killing a raptor. Jurassic or Velocity, either way. But again, a raptor can also definitely kill a galley, so... It's anybody's game. Today you ate Jack LeCoq? You ate a Jack Cock? I don't know what that is. Now we need the timer. So where do we want to handle this timer? Also, how long is this album going for? Got plenty of album time left on the Chrono Trigger soundtrack. It's a Quebec restaurant, better than KFC. Okay. Yeah, I imagine it would be better than KFC. My general rules for restaurants is if I haven't heard of them, they're probably good. If Mirabilis lost its horn, it would become a regular Spinosaurus. I mean, not really. There's probably other differences. There's differences in skull shape. Mirabilis has a narrower snout, if I remember correctly. And Egypticus is a little thicker. So there's more that, there's more that makes the Mirabilis than just the horn, right? If it was just the horn, it could be like a sexually dimorphic thing, and you couldn't really guarantee that it was a new species. Do I think Pegomastics kill Sauropod? Sure. They could steal a grenade, walk under the Sauropod, and blow it up. Do we want to implement this in buff timers? This might not be a bad place to do it. I might have some other places here, though, we could do this. Status handler's probably better place to handle this. Who would win, Mirabilis or a T-Rex? I mean, typically a T-Rex, right? Is it me or Pegomastics head freaking me out? Why, you don't like his chompers? Not a fan of Heterodontosauridae? Yeah, so we should probably just copy this syntax. This should be kind of what we do. All right. So we do if global dot no move greater than 0 and not tacking. Why is it only... Is global.pc attacking used for everything? Let's just trust that this is correct. You know, the iguana mistake when he was discovered, I think it was a horn. Yes, they thought the thumb horn was a nose horn. I don't think we'll get feeders back from JW1 or the old animations. I think if they were going to bring back feeders or the animations from JW1, they'd be back already. But, I mean, unless people complain enough about the animals feeling too samey and lifeless, then maybe they'll try to, like, expand animations and bring back some old ones, but I just don't see it happening. Same with the cow and pig feeders. Like, they've had the cow and pig feeders in the code for, like, most of JW2's lifespan. They just never finished them or implemented them. Like, again, I don't really see them getting added at this point. Like, if these are the things that if they were going to add, they should have added at launch. Well, yeah, you can, like, make a feeder, but it's not the same. You still need environmental foliage unless you turn that off. So if no move greater than 0 and not PC attacking. Take an Avery pull and place the food. Sure. We do global dot no move timer. I guess we do timer here. Global dot no move timer minus equals 1. So this ticks down fractionally. This should work. And then we do... If global no move timer is less than or equals to 0, we can delete this check. This isn't important. We just set no move to 0 and no move timer to 0. Just reset these consistently. Yeah, I don't know what Philip expects me to do, so... He's not spamming per se because he's not like constantly sending the same messages, but he is just kind of repeating himself. And I don't know, he doesn't respond really to anything I say, so I'm just gonna kind of ignore him. I'm not gonna like ban him, but like I'm not gonna engage. You're watching Big Mouth? I've never seen it. Experts have suggested that Mirabilis is distinct because of the fact that our conceptions of Spino might not be on one particular species. Why am I on Nublar? Because that's where I live, here on Nublar. Duh. Yeah, the Egypticus, like the holotype being dusted and only having the neotype and not being able to directly like compare the two is problematic. Yeah, there's definitely possibilities that Mirabilis and Egypticus are the same, or the holotype and neotype are different, 100%. We just don't have enough specimens. Yeah, the original Spinosaurus cryo was destroyed in World War II in a bombing. It was in Germany. So it was in, what, like the Berlin Museum or something? I think one Rex could beat a Spino in water because at the end of the day, the Spino is still like got a weaker bite force, right? Less mass overall, probably. Like, I don't know. Yeah, you're talking about Nublar. That's what I said. I live here on Isla Nublar. Oh, Isla Nublar was destroyed. Oh, I get you. I thought you were talking about the Spinosaurus. Yeah. No, this is we went back in time. I'm live streaming from the past. We're here in 1993 on Isla Nublar, and there is no volcano. That's a lie. Yeah, I think I would have preferred if Rebirth just went to one of the other islands and said, "Oh, there's dinosaurs here too," because you know they spread from the other islands or got dumped here later or something. I don't know. Survivors from... That doesn't make sense, but like something. I don't know. I just don't like that. I don't like the setting of Rebirth. I think a third island is dumb, but if it's going to be a new island, it might as well be an island that we had named previously. So this should be good. Let's test this. This was Jawlock. T-Rex was never weak. It's just there was a weird tendency to portray kind of dinosaurs as all being, you know, essentially kaiju, essentially things of like roughly equal power to each other with no real consideration for like the actual combat capabilities of these animals. Do I think Ben should have survived or was a good idea? Should have died or should have survived? I mean, he wasn't gonna die. I think it was fine how they did it. For like what that show was, I think it was fine. Alright, this was a show ultimately for children still. It was not a show for adults. They weren't gonna really kill people. You can't even suggest that Spinosaurus is being transported to eat Nazis anymore? Damn. But you just did. Like, why were you able to type that message if the other message got blocked? I don't, surely they're like containing the same words. That's really weird. This is a close range attack. So we'll replace Devour again. Jaw lock. Do I know that Quetzalcoatlus is Aztec? I know that Quetzalcoatl is. But if you add the us, then it's the pterosaur. Because you said die? It's also in the context of being Hitler? Yeah, man, this... I don't know what the YouTube Automod is doing to you. It's doing weird shit. You and your friend are gonna make ARGs before the events of Jurassic World Renegade. What is Renegade supposed to be? Your own fan concept thing or something? Alright. Why are we talking about the Big H Man? Because he's a convenient example of the things that are wrong in the world. Okay, cool. So we're locked in place. Okay, and we're moving again. That was probably about 9 seconds. Ooh, and we got the stun. Let's go. Can we win? Are we gonna... Oh my god, we're gonna win. We can win. We can beat it. We can beat it. We just gotta kill him. Oh my god, he's so close to dead. No! Get away from me! Fuck you! Come on! You've almost done it! 2 HP! Fuck you! Holy shit, we beat the Baryonyx! We beat them straight! It's about Donut Labs. Okay, gotcha. It's your headcanon lore stuff. How much will I charge you if you buy the game? I don't know. That will depend how far the project goes. I definitely am not going to even think about a price at this stage, because depending on how ambitious the project might be in final implementation is where that sort of decision has to be made. Okay. So, Jawlock looked good to me. Let's just erase this. Devour comes back, Devour comes back, Devour comes back, Devour comes back. Is the Carnotaurus equivalent to this game's Glass Joe? I don't know the exact context of that, of Glass Joe, but I can guess Glass Cannon. And it is kind of a glass cannon. Am I going to revisit Paleopines? No, I'm probably going to revisit Paleopines too. Garrett and you are watching from your couch. Why are you hanging out? The fuck? Well, what do you think of the game, guys? Yes, Garrett is Bam. He was in Eau Claire, you mean Austria. Yeah. Good save, Brady. Good job. You got it. You saved it. Yeah, Eau Claire, France. That's where it is. Dino. Well, when does he want to go to the gym? You gotta feed me that information. If he's already in Eau Claire. He's here, so whenever I'm ready. Okay, okay. Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Indeed, true. C'est quand que tu vas aller au gym? Yeah, definitely. Do I think that could beat Rugops in a boxing match? Is it strictly boxing, right? Like, is the Rugops possessing enough intelligence to, like, specifically box and not just bite my head off? Because if it's like, can I beat a Rugops boxing while it, like, just mauls me to death? No. Can I beat a Rugops if he's actually boxing? I don't know. Probably still no, because I could probably do no damage punching it and just eventually exhaust myself and lose by doing no damage to it. Can I say baguette? Baguettes. 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 I think if it bit me, it would be disqualified. Okay, so this is like a refereed, like, legitimate boxing match. Yeah, I think I probably would just end up breaking my hands on it, trying to, like, take it down. It's probably too massive, right? It'd be like punching a wall. Even if it's not punching me with its tiny little fucking fused arms, it still would just, like, eventually fail. Well, anyway, so we're probably going to wrap the stream up here soon then, because I'm not going to go ahead and start implementing the quill mechanic fully tonight if we can hit up the gym at any time. So maybe we'll think a little bit here so I can get my gears turning on this mechanic. You think you could beat an Bellasaur in a boxing match? I mean, yeah, I'd have to think about it, but maybe. Why are you not VIP? You've been watching since 3 years now? Because it's like a paid thing. I'm not going to, like, give you VIP or some shit, right? It's a nice sunny day here in Jurassic Park, of course, as you can see. So the Iguanodon's mechanic is it shoots quills at you, or you get quills stuck in you from attacking it. These quills stay for the whole fight, and they add incremental, increasing amounts of damage. It's a unique status effect for animals that have access to quills. So I think the way we implement this is we put it in the data structure, because eventually we want to have tag battles where you swap your dinosaurs in and out. And the quill should stay in the animal that took the quill shot. You think the judges would hand the decision to you if you can cause even a little bit of discomfort and it doesn't fight back? I mean, maybe. I don't know. Sorry, Walter White is in your Jurassic Park donut lore? That's a lot of stuff going on there. Yes, I'm going to go to the gym later. It's going to happen. Yes. I'm working out so that I can survive in the impending apocalypse. No, Rugops is an actual dinosaur. I'm not going to comment on the 600-pound thing. I'm not going to dispel the myths. So I think what we can do is we just add quills as just a parameter in the data structure. And this is just the number of quills that are currently stuck in you in a battle. And then we just increment the counter, we add this to the damage calc, and then we reset it in the lobby. And then we add the attacks and the passives that generate the quills later. Am I lifting 600? I'm lifting 600 hamburgers into my fucking mouth. That's what I'm doing. Character dies like Walter White. Walter White isn't in it. Okay. But you should get Bryan Cranston to be the character. You can lift 1,800. Yeah, but you're lifting like 1,800 baguettes or something. That doesn't count. I sure hope I can beat Vegeta. He doesn't work a day in his fucking life. He just trains. I should do an IRL stream. This is as real life as it's gonna get ever. I ain't streaming at the gym. That's insane. You're a madman. All right. So let's do actually here title stuff. We got to add the quills to everybody else. The quills. Even though this is never going to come up, we just still want this here because the damage calcs will find this 0 for everybody who's not fighting the Iguanodon actively, but it is still relevant. And then we do global.pc.quills equals 0 to reset it if it has accumulated from the previous round. Same thing here for the enemy. And that's everything we need for tracking that. So the idea is going to be that there's actually going to be little quill graphics that just get stuck in your dinosaur. There'll be little spikes. And there's not going to be an obvious on-screen counter, right? So if you want to know how many quills you have stuck in you got to actually look at the screen and figure it out. That's kind of the idea. You want Bam to stream at the gym? I guess it's up to him. If he wants to be a gym streamer, he could do that. He could be one of those people. Alright. Well, I'm going to wrap the stream up here then and start heading to town. So, we'll save this off. Save a backup. Set off the lunk alarm, yep. Send you the gym location, you have teleportation. If you have teleportation, you don't need to go to the gym because you're already set. Renegade's gonna be awesome. All right, well we'll have to see. All right, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for coming by the stream. Yeah, we'll work on the quill mechanic next Tuesday, and then JWE3 on Saturday. Usual time, usual approximate time, and I'm gonna go lift heavy things.